Welcome to our channel.
Today let's talk about inflation in Argentina.
The central bank raising interest rate to 81%. Argentina has been facing a severe inflation crisis for years, with the situation worsening in recent times. In February 2023, the country's inflation rate crossed 100% year-over-year, the first time it has hit triple figures since the hyperinflation period in 1991. The inflation crisis has eroded the trust of Argentines in banks, currency, and officials. The country's central bank has been struggling to manage the situation, and economists expect inflation to hit 90% by December 2022. The inflation crisis is linked to the same factors that have driven up prices worldwide, including the war in Ukraine, supply chain constraints, and big increases in public spending. The COVID-19 pandemic and shrinking global food supplies have also accelerated the inflation rate. Despite the high inflation rate, Argentines have adapted to the situation and found ways to manage their lives. People have learned to navigate life in Argentina by finding the best deals and using workarounds to make the upside-down system work. However, the situation is especially manageable for those with the means to make it work. The rest of the world is struggling to cope with soaring price rises, but Argentina has been living with financial uncertainty for much of the last half-century. The country's central bank keeps printing money, and the government has been unable to control the situation. The impact of spiraling prices is being felt keenly in Argentina's markets, shops, and homes. The high inflation rate is stretching people's wallets, and many are struggling to make ends meet. Retirees and low-income earners are the hardest hit, with many unable to afford basic necessities. The situation is dire, and the government needs to take urgent action to address the crisis. In conclusion, Argentina's inflation crisis is a severe problem that has been ongoing for years. The situation has worsened in recent times, with the inflation rate crossing 100% year-over-year in February 2023. The crisis has eroded the trust of Argentines in banks, currency, and officials. The government needs to take urgent action to address the situation and provide relief to those who are struggling to make ends meet. Inflation has had a significant impact on the daily lives of Argentinians. The country has been living with financial uncertainty for much of the last half-century, and the high inflation rate has stretched people's wallets. Retirees and low-income earners are the hardest hit, with many unable to afford basic necessities. The high inflation rate has transformed the way people spend, save, and think. It has created an inflationary culture, where people are on guard all the time, and almost everyone loses to inflation. With inflation at 1% per week, money that sits in the bank loses value by the day, which stimulates a culture of consumption. The feeling is that today's pesos will be worth less tomorrow, so people spend what they have as soon as they get it. The high inflation rate has also led to a loss of perception of prices, and the price relationship between products has been distorted. As a result, Argentines frequently pay more for less, and businesses have adapted to survive. Thanks for your watching. If you are new to our channel, please like and subscribe.